Wait a moment and then try again. Oh, we're live. What's up?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Washed Up. I have this mechanical arm for this mic. I need to actually use it because my laptop is resting on it right now.
You will become a true podcaster once you got the whole deal coming in.
I could do it during this episode.
You might have to if you're a real podcaster.
Yeah, I might have to. Well, we're currently waiting on my former teammate, Mr. Marcus Paige. Played at North Carolina. I thought it'd be fun to get a little preview of this game of the Cougars versus the Tar Heels. He played there. He's coaching there. We played together in Serbia in 2020 to 2021. So a little post-COVID basketball action.
In front of nobody.
Yeah, mostly in front of nobody till the very end of the season. They finally let some fans in, which was fun. But at that point, half our team had quit or they were hurt, so didn't really matter.
That's super fun.
I remember we were in the playoffs against a name that BYU fans will recognize, Philip Petrusev. He was playing with Mega. It was so lame.
Yeah,
And our team had just like it's like once we were done with Euro Cup, once we were done with Adriatic League, we played in 3 leagues. Now we were playing in like the local Serbian league, and we met them in the semis, and like they just like half my team was like, "Yeah, I think my ankle's kind of hurting." It was like, "Come on, guys."
I think my back it's just been starting to
Just
tweak
what
out a
people
little
do.
bit. Philip Petrusev, that brings back memories. My senior year, I tagged him on a roll.
Oh yeah, you got a
And
flagrant?
no, they went and reviewed it, didn't give me anything for it, and
I think
he
that's on
felt,
YouTube.
oh yeah, for sure. And if you just look up our Gonzaga game, I hit him in the back, and Gonzaga. I think I got mail at BYU from Gonzaga fans that were like, "You're the dirtiest person alive," and I was like,
BYU Gonzaga. Is that 2020?
"Yeah." It was at home. It was like one of the first couple possessions.
Number two versus number 23.
I think it was that game. But yeah, I just tagged the roll. He's rolling down the middle lane. I just tagged him, and
Oh,
I probably popped him in a good spot. And
Marcus is here. I'm gonna have him join this conversation.
So,
Marcus, the star of today's show, man.
oh
let's
man,
go.
how's it going?
Representing UNC right there on the jacket we were just talking about. Um, I was like, man, the way that we finished our season in Partizan, where I think you were actually hurt,
Yeah,
but there was like 5 or 6 guys who were not hurt, and they were like, "Yeah." I think we had the meme. I think we had the meme of SpongeBob in our group chat of like, "All right, I'm gonna head out." That was like that was our
we
entire
were
that was our
we
entire
were
team. It was
physically hurt, mentally
yeah
hurt, emotionally. We were checked out. Man.
yeah we had a tough year.
Oh man,
I've alluded to some of this, but to give people listening background, we played in Partizan together, 20 to 21. We had 3 coaches that year. It like started with bad to worse. And then like we saved some face at the end of the year. We had a coach who we all enjoyed. He just murdered us. Like it was just we had a training camp in April that lasted like 3.5 weeks because we were in between leagues. That is a grind. That is a grind. But Marcus, thanks for being here, dude. It's good to see you. We're excited to host you guys here this week. That's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah, it's gonna be
Um,
awesome.
what tell us, let's just jump right into it. What has it been like being back at UNC? This is going to be year 3 as a
Yep,
coach.
yep.
What has that been like transitioning from obviously you played there, playing pro, now you're back kind of where not at all started, but a big portion of who you are started. What's it like? How's it been?
I mean, it's been pretty awesome. Obviously, it's a lot better when you're winning. So things
Yeah,
things go a
for
lot better
sure.
when you're winning at a high level, especially to our standard. But nothing really can replace playing, and I'm sure you know. There's just nothing that's better than as a competitor playing. But I always knew I wanted to go into coaching and to have a spot kind of open up. And then the impending rule change that allowed 4 court coaches to go up to 6. So I basically was a court coach immediately in my first year, which was awesome because that's obviously where I like spending most of my time. So it's been cool getting more and more responsibility every year, and obviously doing it at the place that, you know, kind of made me who I was as a basketball career person has been awesome.
Yeah. I feel like when you're a player, especially when you know you're going to get into coaching, it's like you go through a ton of coaches throughout your career. It's like, I like that guy, I didn't like that guy, I like this, you know. What is your style as a coach? What do you try and bring from, you know, maybe the different pieces that you've experienced?
Yeah, it's funny actually. I think during my first year, I had a lot of downtime because I wasn't actually recruiting. So I would just like work our guys out, and I was doing mostly player development stuff. So I decided to make a Google Doc of every coach that I played for and just everything I could think of or any notes that I had from each of those coaches. So it started with writing stuff on road trips and planes and stuff, and I turned it into a Google Doc. So I have like, you know, 5-6 pages on some of the guys that I didn't even like. There's some good stuff in there. But I think just stealing from the opportunities I had in training camp, learning from Quinn Snyder and Steve Clifford, and then just taking some of the concepts that European coaches use, like they're geniuses when it comes to offensive spacing, you know, it's timing, screen angles and stuff, because the court is so small and congested, similar to a college court. So I think a lot of my offensive philosophy is very European tilted, but it's been fun to kind of just try to figure out who I want to be as a coach. Obviously, I don't have my own program, so it's mostly the style of my head coach. But as I keep going in this and get down the road, like kind of figuring out what I want my identity to be.
Totally. It's so.
Tell me something. Wait. I gotta know real quick. Tell me something from each of our coaches in Serbia. Something good from all of them.
Well, so I didn't write any notes on Vlado because it didn't last very long. Vlado, if you're watching this, I apologize.
Yeah, he's not watching. He's not watching. I don't want to know where he is, actually.
Sasha, I actually stole some of the Iverson stuff that we did with him. We did it for me, so I liked it. So I had it in my notes.
I liked it too. I feel like that when finally Sasha started playing me, it was fun. It was
what was that about?
It was too late in the season.
We bring in a guy with NBA experience, and then he just treats him like he's like our fourth big, like one of the young Serbian kids.
I told you, like one of the young Serbian kids is wildly accurate. I told TJ this, or someone we were at lunch with recently about this. Like, it was so crazy because basically what happened was he came in right as I got COVID. I had one practice with him after his infamous speech. I'm sure you remember, relating each of us to a body part. It's legend, just stuff of legend. And then I got COVID, and I was out for like a month. So you guys had a bunch of games, you had a bunch of practices, and at that point, Novica got hurt. I mean, he was hurt like 6 years prior, but this was like the final, broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
So he was hurt, and then why can't I remember? Was it Stefanovic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Steph like quit, I think, basketball forever. So our fours are down. So I come back and he's like, "Hey, but you can shoot a little bit better," like emphasizing. He's like, "Oh, you can shoot a little bit better than Yonker and Will Mosley. So you're our backup four now." And I was like, "But I'm better than them at the 5, so that doesn't make any sense."
But coach, I'm the best center on the team. Well,
do you remember? Like, no, but we need you at the 4. And so every day after practice, I mean, me and Josh Perkins were just like, Josh immediately in the doghouse, but like we would just try and kill the first team. And I had a lot of great days, and I'd be like screaming at coach the whole time. We'd sit down at the end of practice and just like hash it out for 20 minutes. Like I'd be like, "No, you need to play me or let me go." And he's like, "No, I'm going to keep you here and you're going to be the 4." I was like, "This makes no sense."
That is the point. Yeah.
That is the point. I told CJ that.
Do you remember speaking of the straw that broke the camel's back, do you remember his last game? Like why it all fell apart? So we play
it wasn't Kirko, was it?
During COVID, and we're up 3, And he considered me one of the smarter
Yeah.
players on the team. I made my entire career on being smart and like knowing what to do in situations.
I remember that. Yep.
And they run a pick and roll, and I run in and tag the roll and give up a 3. Bang, goes to overtime. We lose, and he gets fired the next day. And I was like, that had to be the thing that did it. If I can't get him to do this, it's over.
At that point, he just handed in his towel.
I'm out.
Oh my gosh, I do remember that now. Man, that was a wild year, and it is like, you and I had conversations the last couple of years, mostly texting about. I thought about jumping into coaching. I know TJ's helps his dad with a prep school and coaches a couple youth teams in AAU. So, I'm the only one that's unaffiliated here, I guess. But just you get the appeal, right? Like every former player thinks about it, and a lot of them jump in, right? Because I feel like it probably scratches that competitive itch, and it's like I've done so much, I've logged so many hours, I've shed so many tears and bled so many whatever. Like I got to stay in this because I have an advantage, right? And so it's cool that you got this big database to pull from, and now you're just stacking, days at a historically powerful, team, and an awesome head coach who I had the chance to spend some time with in June. Like that's awesome. Like, I'm stoked for you. You're going to be a great head coach. That'll be fun to watch.
Thank you.
Speaking about UNC, like, where are you guys? I mean, to us, like from the outside looking in, it's like, holy cow, these exhibition games, which don't really feel like exhibition games. Everyone's posting highlights and stats, and it's on TV. I'm like, this feels a little bit more official than probably the coaches all signed up for. Like, where are you guys? How long have you all been healthy? Are you guys in a good place? Do you feel like you've had enough time, or are you still kind of getting the pieces together?
Well, it's interesting because like I had this conversation with Wes Miller, who's the coach at Cincinnati. And when I saw him, we were recruiting in July. I'm like, "How's your team?" And he's like, "Dude, everyone loves their team in July." Like,
right.
Everyone loves it. Like, I love my team.
Nobody lost all the potential in the world.
So now that we're really in it now and approaching the real deal, and like I watched the BYU Nebraska game, it's like that game was just fans away from being like a real,
right?
All these Alabama, Florida State went 109 to 105. Like, there's been some awesome early preseason games that feel like they could be tournament games. We've only had a couple blue-white scrimmages where we've essentially done intra-squad stuff. So I'm very ready to see us just compete against someone else and have only 5 of our guys on the court, just kind of to see what the big picture looks like. I think we're happy with where we are, but I think we know we have a long way to go before they count. So I think the good thing is that some of the things that we've been emphasizing from the summer have kind of shown up, in our pace and the way we try to move the ball a little bit more this year. That stuff's been evident in our scrimmages. Again, we need to see it against a real opponent, but we still you're at the point now where, okay, we have a big game, exhibition game against a top 10 opponent on Friday. How much stuff do we have in? How much stuff do we want to use? How much stuff are they going to throw at us? And we're watching BYU Nebraska, and it's like, okay, we see this little wrinkle, we see this, we know there's 3 or 4 more layers. Are they? So it's kind of a weird
It's a game. It's a little chicken.
You want like a measuring stick, right? Yeah. But you also know that you got real ones coming like a week and a half later. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
No, that's super games. It's so interesting because I don't even know how many sets BYU has. I don't know how many they're going to run. Nobody really knows. It's just like, let's get out and play. I don't know. I mean, we have a lot of Cougar fans that tune into this show. Give us a little preview of your team and what you guys think about this matchup with BYU.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting for us because BYU they were prolific offensively last year, and we expect them to be that again, which will test sort of our defensive principles early. Last year, we tilted a lot more offensively than defensively, and I think this year we feel like we have a team that can be better defensively. We have more length, we have more size. Henry Visar from Arizona and Caleb Wilson.
He's a killer. He's good.
That front court is a lot bigger, longer, more athletic, and more skilled than we had last year. So we're excited to see them against, proven guys. Obviously AJ, Richie are tremendously skilled, and then Keita is like, a grown man. So it'll be good. It'll be a good physical matchup for our front court. And then obviously a lot of people around our fan base is curious to see how the backcourt rotation shakes out. So just getting a chance to see those guys play against someone like Rob Wright will be fun. I think you'll see from us a long rotation. I would expect in an exhibition game because we feel like we have a lot of depth this year, and the only way to see that is to throw them out there and see what we get. And this is like, this is such an invaluable experience because we expect there to be some good fans and a team that can really challenge us in a lot of ways, especially on the defensive end.
Man, I got to say, like, what a weird world, or my worlds are colliding where Marcus Paige, my teammate from Serbia, is talking about, like, guys in the scouting report that are at my alma mater. It's fun. It's also weird that, like, they even broadcast this. To me, it's like, why broadcast? Because then no one wants to show what they have. No one wants to try certain things because then there's extra film on them, right? Like, I think it's kind of interesting. I know I never did any closed scrimmages. I don't know if you did, Marcus. TJ has told me this coach will remain nameless, but they did a closed scrimmage and were just smacking somebody, and the other head coach canceled it like mid-game. Was like, yeah, we're done. You couldn't do that. You couldn't do that with the TVs on, right? Like now, that's why I'm like, it's a little bit more official, I think, than it needs to be. And another thing that I'm interested to see is how many people show up. I think there's going to be a good crowd. I don't think it's like a sellout, but there has been so much hype. These Cougar fans are. I wouldn't be shocked either. I don't know, because you still have football, you have the NBA season starting. Like, I do feel like sports world is busy right now to get that attention so early for college. I'd be 5% shocked, but I think it's going to be a real crowd because people are just dying to see BYU. They've never had this much hype in their life. It's a regular UNC year, but for us, it's like, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
this is the biggest year of our life.
It's going to be it's a top 10 team, and obviously there are some, like AJ himself is a draw. I mean, he just had 30 points. Yeah,
for sure.
People are going to be excited to see what comes after that, and excited to see how he's continued to be used. We feel like we have a pretty good, we had a top 10 5-star recruit coming in, Caleb Wilson, who's similarly position-wise. So, like, a lot of people will say that there's a matchup or a head-to-head matchup there, even though we all know basketball, like, everybody's switching and doing all these, like, it's not like they get to go out there and play one-on-one, but people will still be excited to see them go at each other. And again, it's a team that in our side of the world, like, people are excited about, but they know that we have a lot to prove, and you have a few known commodities, but it's a new group and coming off a very successful year and attempting to build something really big there. Like, this is a big year for them as well. So I just think there's a lot to be excited about and a lot to be curious about, which kind of like raises the interest level. It's not like we were a Final Four team last year, bringing everybody back, and everybody knows. And it's not like same for you. Like, you guys were a very good team in the toughest conference in basketball, and it's a new group. So the curiosity level is 10 out of 10.
No, Eric and I had this conversation the other day. I feel like, and I'd be interested to get your take on this. Like, these last. What years did you play at UNC? Remind me.
I graduated in 2016.
2016.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like this time, the past 10 years of college basketball, like, it has changed so much in so many ways. Like, you talk about, obviously, NIL and rev share has completely changed college athletics as a whole. But I feel like even in, like, the X's and O's, which you alluded to earlier, like, the college game has changed so much. Eric and I were talking about, like, my freshman year, his sophomore year together, just like throwing the ball to Eric and playing off of split actions and stuff was, like, just kind of starting to be introduced. I'm curious to hear your perspective, from playing to coaching, how college basketball has evolved and changed.
Yeah, I mean, so I always think of it as like the NBA is the head of college basketball, and EuroLeague or European basketball sometimes is the head of the NBA. There's a game on right now, Houston and OKC, where nobody on the court is under 6'7". It's like, that is literally insane. Like, Amin Thompson's the point guard, and then they go like KD at the 2. And so, like, when I played,
he's 7'1".
Yeah, and like when I played, we didn't hardly do any switching. And now like switching is almost mandatory in a lot of different
Right.
actions because the offenses are so complex that you have to try to kill some of that action by switching. So just from that, and then you see the post ups. Like I went to a school where all we did was race the ball down the court, throw it inside, and hope for the best, and then go get the offensive rebound. You know, for a while, I would say up until the last 2 or 3 years, everybody started going 5 out, running delay, getting cute with some of the zoom actions and everything. And then Florida and Auburn and some of these other schools kind of turned it on its head the last year or two, started putting a guy into the basket, using duck-ins. So it's like it's almost cyclical, right? Like everybody got small and fast, and then some teams went just doubled down on being big. Now there's an adjustment to that.
Yep.
So we are messing around with some too big alignments and actions, but also we have to incorporate some of the spread 5 out stuff because that's super effective in today's game. So it is kind of crazy. Like it's a completely different game than I played. Like I'll pull up some clips from, you know, our Final Four team or the year they won it in 2017 at Carolina. And it's like all 5 guys are inside the 3-point line. And I'm like, ew, like move away from each other. You know, and then obviously you watch BYU, who's one of the best spaced teams in the country. So like you see the way they space the floor and they get to their second side actions and everybody's 15 feet away from each other. And it's like, oh, this is a completely different sport almost at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we did too. We just threw it to Eric, and he just went and did all his thing.
He just kept it. And
the black
went,
hole.
Went left shoulder. And,
Oh, man.
Threw it in.
No, dude. TJ, because of coaching with his dad, he has access to what's it called? Synergy. And so some memory will pop up and we'll be like, well, let's go watch it. And almost always we remember it incorrectly. I'm like, oh yeah, I dunked on these 2 dudes and it was unbelievable. And I got the foul. It's like, no, I missed the dunk and I got an offensive foul. Like, I know I watched those old clips and I'm like, oh man, I was so inefficient. I was such a baby. But the stretch four clips from Partizan, those are ones that I will never I'll never be ashamed of. I hit a couple of those against Baduchnos, and it was the best day of my life.
What do you guys
seeing
from your team?
Yeah, we've been a couple times to watch them practice. Like personally, you know, there's curiosity, right? Like I want to see how it shakes out from paper translated to the court, obviously. Like I think there's probably like 10 to 20 schools that are very much the same in talent level, right? But like who wins the national championship? I think it's the team that is the closest, that has the tightest camaraderie, that trusts each other the most, that plays the right way, right? So I'm curious to see that, kind of how that evolves. I'm very excited with our ability to switch. You know, you talk about like that is the name of the game now. And we have 5 guys who are really good athletes and very long and very capable at being versatile, right? And put in versatile positions. So when we've watched practice, I'm just amazed at the speed of our guys. Like, and I'm super excited to see them defend because it, you know, you have Kaba anchoring the back, but even Kaba, he's a little bit undersized. He plays a little bit differently than like a traditional big. And so, you know, him being able to switch maybe a little bit more because it's better with our current guards, or being able to funnel more to him because we're able to push out and be a little bit more aggressive. Like I'm excited because BYU's never been known as a defensive juggernaut. And I think with the guys that we have, we can be. So I'm super stoked to see how that is.
Juggernaut. Wow. That's a high bar to live up to.
No. Maybe won't be a juggernaut, but we're going to be a lot closer than we've ever been historically. I'll put it that way.
Last year you guys were like what, 8th in offense. So as long as the defense is respectable and can get in the way, it's going to be a good year for them. You know. Yeah. I just hope it's not Friday.
No, just not too much Friday, right? Like we can all be friends.
Yeah, there's a lot I'm excited about. I mean, we obviously on paper are very talented, and we have a lot of skilled guys coming into play. I think you look at last year's team, and it was KY's first year, and I think the transition from NBA to college is a big jump. I think it's a different game, and over the course of the season, you watched him just adjust and keep getting better and like find ways to play the college game a little bit better and bring his flair to what we have. And what was awesome was last year you watched the guys just buy into everything KY is doing. And so I think what I'm most excited about is like on paper, we're as good as we've ever been at BYU. You know, we have a lot of guys that are just extremely talented. And so what I'm excited to see is like how well can we all buy into KY's system? Because ultimately at the end of the day, like Eric said, the team with the, you know, the most camaraderie, the team with the most chemistry, there's a lot of great teams when it comes down to March, but the ones that are like really on board to just winning games are the teams that figure it out. And so I'm most excited to see how we do that this year. Cause like I said, on paper, we're as good as we've ever been. Can we figure out how to like buy into the only thing that matters is winning? It doesn't matter if you have 30 and 10 or whatever. It's like the only thing that matters is winning. And so I'm most curious to see if we can have that same level of buy-in as we did last year. Because if we do, I think we're going to be a really, really good team this year. But it's a matter of can we have everybody buy into it?
Which is weird because like in our era, like that was easier, I think. It was easier for everyone to be committed to one common goal. They have more things to consider now. They have agents. They have people in their ear. They have contracts and salaries. That stuff can all kind of, you know, dilute the message at times, I think, and it has for certain teams. But to your point, like teams that can kind of figure it out and click, you're going to give yourself a lot better shot, especially just because of how competitive the game is now with everyone having money to be able to pay people and put together rosters that are competitive, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, Marcus doesn't know anything about buy-in or winning in college. He didn't get very far, so he doesn't really understand, right? Well, dude, I know you've got a toddler. We understand the grind. and we're 6 minutes over what I told you we would do, but great to catch up. Obviously, hopefully I'll see you on Friday if the schedule holds. But we're excited to watch you. We're grateful that you came on the show, and not too much good luck, but good luck. Let's hope it's a good game, right? Like, let's just hope everyone has fun, right? That's my only goal. Right? Yeah, so it doesn't count. There's not going to be highlights or stats or TV or a crowd. It doesn't count. So, well, no, but really good luck. It'll be fun to watch you guys play and just follow you this season.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Appreciate you, Marcus.
All right. See you, brother.
Yep.
Score prediction?
It's hard because
there's just not it's just you don't know anything about like even us, right? It's hard to say.
It's hard because you don't even know, you know, like Marcus is saying, like we might use 5 of our 50 plays. We might use one action the whole night. It's like we're gonna like work on this action.
And that's what I think is dumb. Like, just don't broadcast it then. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe just have fans. I don't know. I just think it's stupid. It's like, you know, Marcus said it, you've said it, we've heard other shows talk about it. It's like, oh yeah, like it's great to go against somebody other than yourself. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. But if you're not even gonna really like try stuff and you're not in a comfortable position to like, I don't know, give it a shot, then really are you playing someone different? Like, I don't know. I guess as long as I didn't watch last game, but I just read up on it. And it sounds like we used all sorts of, you know, funky lineups in the second half. Obviously, Rob Wright didn't play. I don't think Kaba did either. You know, is that because he wants to take a different look at things? I doubt it. It's probably he just doesn't want to unnecessarily like hurt 2 of his starters, you know? I don't know. There's too much that goes into it. I'm excited to go and watch the game. You know, do I think it's necessary? No. But do I love the hype around it? Yes. So I'll just shut up and watch.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if you're Vegas, it's pretty much impossible to like have a line for this game.
Yeah. I wonder how they do lines like in the beginning of the season, like without knowing anything. They just get more and more accurate as you go. They probably are willing to just eat it in the beginning of the season, not knowing.
I feel like somehow
Vegas just know.
They're still accurate. They just have the crystal ball.
Yeah, it's kind of freaky. Also, I mean, we should probably talk about Marcus. Marcus is the man. And I just remember, you know, we played and he had another 2 or 3 seasons after we played. And like, even while we were playing, he was like literally writing stuff down in his journal, like plays. that he liked, plays that worked. The plays that we ran for him, right? The Aberson stuff. And one of the most intelligent, if not the most like guards, because what was his scouting report was like, oh, this guy's a shooter. Don't let him shoot. And he always found a way to get his shots, and you have to be smart. You have to be elusive there. So it was a lot of fun playing with him. And it's like, you could tell he just eats, sleeps and drinks basketball. So I'm excited to see where he ends up. Cause that's a pedigree, like that ends up as a head coach somewhere big. You know what I mean? Like one at the highest level, part of a crazy program, played in the NBA, back at that program. Like he's going to end up somewhere big, which is cool. So it's cool having guys like that here.
You can tell he's into it when he's like, I have a Google sheet of all my all my coaches, things I like, things I didn't like. It's like, yeah, he probably has a binder or something online. Yeah, Google Docs. It's like, I have 500 plays that I like.
Yeah.
Here's an action that gets a 4-man a bucket in the mid post. Here's an action that's going to get me an open 3. Here's an act, like you just go down the line. It's like that dude just studies the game. His depth and knowledge of the game probably is phenomenal.
Yeah, that is to me what is appealing, potentially more appealing about coaching than playing, because playing, you're just out there, right? Like you go do it, but like the I don't know, like the strategy, the chess behind it is like cool, right? Like the ones that figure it out, it's really, really cool to watch. But it's also daunting. I'm like, the way you hear about like professors or teachers, like how they have to build their curriculum, like right with their first job or their first, semester or whatever. And then after that, it's kind of like a cakewalk. I don't think it's like that in coaching, but building that like initial, like, this is who I'm going to be as a coach. Like gathering all that data is one thing, but then slimming it down to, okay, this is what I do. This is how I coach. This is what I do on road trips. These are plays that I call, these are things I emphasize in practice. This is what my practice looks like. These are the players I'm going after. This is my staff. It's insane. Like, and they talk about like head coach being a CEO, and it's like, I think it's crazier. Like it's just so much volatility. It's so much random crap out of your control that it's a wild job.
And then you have to adjust too. Like then you think, oh, this action, this style, this action, this is going to help. This is going to work, and then,
right.
And then you get into it and it's like, oh yeah, that doesn't work. Like we're actually not scoring off of that. And then it's like data. It's like, yeah, we're like making 10% of our shots when this happens. And it's like, all right, I need to flip everything. I need to adjust. I need you have to be willing to like drop your like baby, so to speak, like it's like, this is my baby. I've tried to build this.
Yeah, what a graphic way to describe this, but sure.
That's not what I meant there. It's just like, just you just have to be willing to like drop things and move on. And sometimes it's like the whole thing that you've created, it's like, this is the offense, the philosophy that I built. It doesn't work. I have to
doesn't
change.
work. On to the next. Yeah. Can't take anything personally. I think coaches just as easily, just as often get caught up in all the chatter, all the outside noise, all the egos, just like the players do, maybe more because they have, more people blaming on them. But anyways, that was fantastic. I'm excited for Friday. That's our last exhibition game, right? And then after that, I think we've got Villanova coming up in Vegas. We're going to hop on live after that. So we're excited to have you guys join us. And we'll see you next week. We're joined by Adam Finkelstein. Hopefully I said that right. CBS Sports, big time in the world of high school recruitment, of college hoops. This guy's got a wealth of knowledge. So it'll be fun to kind of get his, in a way, final preseason takes and predictions for this BYU team. So that'll be good ones. Make sure you tune in, and then obviously we'll jump on right after the Villanova game. So thanks for being here. TJ, drive safe.